Hello guys, welcome back to another video today. Now for today's video, I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different for today. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a predictions video of what's going to happen for the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. This is probably going to be a new thing that I do on my channel, like towards like the later in like each season, I'll make like a prediction video on like what's gonna happen with each teams, but maybe I won't do that, or maybe I will, depending on how much people like it. So yeah, this is gonna be something that I give a try. So I won't go too much into detail with most of the teams, but all I'll be pointing out and going into detail about some of the major stuff. But yeah, some of these may just be quick and simple. So to start off, we got Hendrick Motorsports 5, 9, 24, and 48, driven by Larson, Elliott, and Bowman. So currently, they drive these cars right now currently, and they all have contract extensions throughout the 2024 season, along with sponsorship support as well. So nothing's really changed there. So everybody's going to remain where they're currently at as far as that goes. So nothing really much to say about Team Hendrick here. Same with Team Penske. Now, I haven't really heard, or at least I don't think I haven't really heard much about what their contract deal is, but I have a feeling that Cindric, Blaney, and Logano are going to get contract extensions to remain on Team Penske, especially since this is Austin Cindric's second full-time year in Cup, so he's most likely going to get an extension and be back in the 2 car. So, but yeah, nothing's really much changed there for Team Penske as well. Now, moving on to Joe Gibbs Racing here. Now, we recently just got news that Hamlin just signed a contract extension to remain at Joe Gibbs. So, he's going to be back in the 11 for next year and for quite a little bit of time. So, nothing's changed with him. Also, as well as Truex, he's going to be back in the 19 for a little bit as well. So, he'll be driving again for the team next year. Then Christopher Bell, I have a feeling he's most likely going to be in the 20 car for a long time, so there's nothing really much changed there. And as for Ty Gibbs, well, he's a rookie this season, so he's obviously going to be back in the 54 car for next season, unfortunately. Gosh. Okay, so, but anyways, moving on to 2311. The team currently co-owned by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan. Now, there was a rumor that they were going to go over to Ford, but that rumor was claimed not to be true, so they're going to remain with Toyota. And as far as drivers goes, I have a feeling that Bubba Wallace is going to be back in the 23 for next season. Same with Tyler Reddick, since this is his first season being with the new team. He was originally planned to go over to the team in 2024, but with complications with his former co-owner, Richard Childress, and Hamlin wanted to buy out his contract, he is currently now driving the 45, and he replaced Kurt Busch after his concussion and is now retired. So, yeah, nothing much there with that team. Alright, now with Richard Childress Racing. Now, again, haven't really heard anything about what Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch are going to be doing, but I want to most likely assume that Austin Dillon is going to remain in the 3 in 2024, and same with Kyle Busch, going to remain in the 8 as this is his first year as well, being with a new team. So I have a feeling he's going to be back in the 8 car for 2024 and on. So, nothing much there. Now, for Stewart Haas Racing. Now, this is where things get interesting. So, currently the driver of the 4-car, Kevin Harvick, this is his final year in the NASCAR Cup Series competition. Currently in the playoffs and the championship hunt. And he hasn't won yet this year. And I feel like it would be really cool to see him win for one more time. As that he has done much for the sport ever since he replaced Dale Earnhardt back in 2001. So, yes, he is truly a legend of the sports, and he will be greatly missed. So, the 4-car, Josh Berry, is going to be taking over that ride in 2024. He's had some experience driving part-time for Hendrick Motorsports, filling in for Elliott and Bowman, and he's currently, most recently, had experience driving again in the 42 car when Gragson got suspended. So, now I don't know if he's still driving part-time for Legacy Motor Club as of right now, since there's still a Chevy at the moment. But currently, Carson Hocevar is driving part-time for the team for 2 more races. So, we'll just have to see what goes on for there, and I'll get to the 42 car here in a bit as far as the new driver replacement. So, yeah. And as sponsors goes for Berry, I'm not really sure if Tire Pros is going to jump on board with that, or if they're going to remain in the Xfinity Series with Junior Motorsports, because Josh Berry currently drives for that team in the 8 car. So, and as far as the driver of the 8 in the Xfinity Series, we're not sure, but there has been some talks about different drivers and who could possibly replace Berry. So, now moving on with the 10 car. Now, we haven't heard anything about Almirola just yet, but I've been seeing on social media that there could be a potential that Almirola may retire or not retire, because last year Almirola said that 2022 was going to be his last year in Cup, but decided to pull a Tom Brady and said that he's not retiring, and here he is driving for Stewart Haas right now. So we'll just have to wait and see where he goes. As far as is he going to still drive the 10, or is he going to retire and somebody else replaces him? So, yeah. So, and then Chase Briscoe. So, Chase Briscoe, haven't heard anything about him yet, but I want to most likely assume that he's going to be back in the 14, seeing that he has done well in this car. Got his first win last year at Phoenix in the spring. So, he has done well in this 14. So, yeah, I don't see anything changing with that. Now, for Ryan Preece, now, we all know that he replaced Cole Custer in the Cup Series because, well, Tony Stewart felt like Cole wasn't performing very well and felt like it was time for a new driver for the 41. Now, I've heard somewhere, I think it was on YouTube, that Ryan Preece is going to be back in the 41 car for one more year. Now, I don't know if he's going to get like a contract extension after that, but that's what I know as far as 2024 goes. So he'll be back next year in the 41. So that does it for Stewart Haas. Now moving on with the Team Trackhouse. Now, pretend this is the Project 91 car set, because I don't have a Project 91 car, so. But anyways, now Chastain. So as I mentioned, Kevin Harvick's retiring, and people have been making rumors that, you know, like Kevin Harvick's current sponsor Busch is gonna like go over to Ross Chastain after Harvick retires, and turns out those rumors were true. So Chastain's gonna be getting a new sponsor for 2024. Now, I do not know the current situation with his current sponsor, Advent Health. We don't know if they're gonna stay with the one team or if they're gonna like take their sponsorships somewhere else. So, but hey, it's good to know that Chastain has a new sponsor, and yeah. And as for Daniel Suarez, he's going to be back in the 99 car, I assume. So both team members are going to remain where they're at. So no changes pretty much there besides the sponsor for Chastain. Now the Project 91 car. Now, so I don't really know what's going to be happening with this car yet. Well, there have been, so the Project 91 car has been used for like a touring, like a drivers from around the world car or something like that, because Team Trackhouse has had the Project 91 car for Kimi Räikkönen at COTA, as well as SVG at Chicago, at the Chicago Street Course, as well as Indianapolis. And SVG announced that he will racing Cup for next year. Now, I don't know if that means he's going to drive the Project 91 car full-time or if he's like going to a different team. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens as far as the Project 91 car goes. Now, moving over to Roush Findlay Keselowski Racing now. So, lately, as you guys saw, this team has been on a resurgence. They've won a few races with Chris Buescher, including at Richmond, Michigan, and Daytona most recently. And Keselowski is currently a part owner, which is why Roush Findlay Keselowski, so you guys know the story on that. Keselowski is currently one of the veterans of the sport, in his late 30s going into his early 40s. But I have a feeling that both drivers are going to be back in the 6 for Keselowski and the 17 for Buescher. So I don't see anything changing there. So now moving over to Kaulig Racing. Now, AJ Allmendinger, he announced last year in 2022 that he was going to be back full-time racing. And currently he drives the 16 car full-time. Now, I have a feeling he's going to be back in the 16 in 2024, as that he just announced that he's going back full-time. So no changes with the 16 car. Now, but the 31 car on the other hand, now, Justin Haley announced that he's going to be moving over to Wickware Racing to drive for them. And I was just disappointed to hear that, because, you know, I like Justin Haley, but now I don't think I do, considering that the fact that he's driving for a team that had a driver that did something very illegal. Now, we don't know full details on what the future plans for the 31 car goes, but I want to say probably like maybe Chandler Smith or some driver from Kaulig in the Xfinity series moves up to the 31 car, because we have seen Chandler Smith make some part-time starts in the 13 for Kaulig. So maybe he takes over that ride, or Kaulig just downs to a one-car operation. So we'll have to see what happens there. Now, for Spire Motorsports, now, I think I've heard the news about Corey LaJoie getting a contract extension, so, or maybe not, but I am assuming that he's going to be back in the 7 for Spire for 2024. Now, with the 77 now, I've saw on social media that there have been rumors that Ty Dillon is out of the 77 car. And, well, I'm not sure where Ty Dillon's going to go as far as his Cup career goes. But as for the 77 car, it may just go back to a part-time car. We're not sure, but yeah, we're just going to have to see and wait later on what happens with that 77. But all I know is that Ty Dillon is most likely going to be out of that ride for 2024. And we'll probably see him in with a new team or something. Now, Wickware Racing. Now, they've had a bunch of different changes this past season. They've gone through multiple different part-time drivers, especially with as I mentioned, Cody Ware doing something very bad that I will not go into detail about. So, for the 15, now, there have been part-time drivers as, for example, Riley Herbst, along with Jensen Button, but that was mainly for the road course events. So I have a feeling that the 15 is going to remain a part-time car, but with JJ Yeley being like the main driver for mostly most of the schedule. So yeah, I have a feeling that's what will happen there. As far as the 51 goes, I mentioned Justin Haley moving over to Wickware Racing, but we don't know what car number he's going to drive. So it could be like the opposite, and Haley goes to the 15 and the 51 goes to JJ Yeley and like the other drivers. But we don't know, so. But it's Wickware Racing. Anything can happen, so. Now, with Frontwell Motorsports, now, this team has had like a bunch of changes like this past recent year, so. Because Todd Gilliland was originally going to come back and drive the 38 full-time, but then it ended up happening, and Gilliland has been like shuffling back and forth between teams this season because, well, Frontwell Motorsports, as they always do, has to make their last-minute decisions, and they put Zane Smith in the team part-time. And the reason why I have two 38 cars is because this car has rookie stripes, and currently Zane Smith drives the 38 for Frontwell Motorsports in the Truck Series, and yeah, in some races he drove the 38 and had rookie stripes on it, so makes sense. But the main driver, Michael McDowell, so I am not sure where he's going to end up. He may just come back to Frontwell Motorsports, or if Almirola retires, because I saw on social media as well that he could potentially go to the 10 car. So, but yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. And as far as the 36 and 38 go, well, we'll just have to wait and find out, because Frontwell Motorsports can be very unpredictable. Like, you never know what they're going to do with their cars. Alright. Anyways, now, big news as far as Legacy Motor Club goes. So, I just recently heard about the replacement for the 42 car. So, we all know that Gregson's been suspended indefinitely by NASCAR because of something dumb that he did, in which I wish he didn't do. And I'm sorry if I'm bringing this up, but give you full context of what's happening. So currently, the team, while the team is still a Chevy, they've had different part-time drivers such as Josh Berry, Mike Rockenfeller, and Carson Hocevar. So I don't know who's going to be driving the 10 car for the 42 car for the remainder of the season, but it could be Josh Berry again, or something like that. But for 2024, John Hunter Nemechek is going to be driving the 42 with Legacy Motor Club's move to Toyota. It'll be very fitting for him. So instead of there being 2 Toyota teams, there's going to be 3 next year. So there hasn't been really like much Toyota in the NASCAR Cup Series as much as it used to be. So yeah. So, and with Eric Jones here, he's going to be back in the 43 despite the fact that it's being switched to Toyota, since he's driven a Toyota in the past when he raced for Joe Gibbs in the 20 car. And then the 84 of Jimmy Johnson going to be running part-time, and man, it kills me to say this, but we're going to be seeing him driving a Toyota. Like, this is this doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would Jimmy want to abandon his Chevy family for Toyota? Like, bruh. Like, why would he do that? But it's just money wise and such, so it's gonna be cursed seeing this team in Toyota form. So yeah, but that's just what happens. Now, going over here to the one car operation teams, starting off with Harrison Burton. Now, Wood Brothers Racing currently has a technical alliance with Team Penske, so yeah, that's why I have them separate from the Penske cars. Well, because while maybe Penske affiliated, it's not entirely with the Penske team. So, but as far as stuff goes, I most likely think that Harrison Burton is going to be back in the 21 car for the Cup Series. So, nothing really much to say there. Now, the 47 car for JT Daugherty Racing. So, I have a feeling most likely that Stenhouse is going to be back driving this car in the 2024 season and beyond, as he could potentially have a multi-contract extension. So, yeah, nothing really much about Stenhouse there. Now, the 50 car for the Money Team Racing. So, currently it is a part-time car. Connor Daly made a start with this car in the Daytona 500. And last year, he drove this car on the Charlotte Roval. Kaz Grala made some starts in this car, as well as the Daytona 500 last year. So, yeah, this is just the 50 car for Kaz Grala that I have right now. I plan to get Connor Daly's 50 car that he ran at the Charlotte Roval at some point. But yeah, I have a feeling this team will probably go part-time again, or maybe they just shut down operations after 2023. And by the way, I don't have the 44 car out with me because they shut down operations after the 2022 season. Same with Team Heisenberg. So, yeah. Now, the Beard Motorsports 62 car now. This car is also a part-time car. Currently, Austin Hill made some part-time starts in this car, as I think this is like Beard Motorsports has like an alliance with Richard Childress Racing, and I couldn't see why not, because Brian Griffin, Family Guy fan, made a theory that the 62 here is actually the 29 from Richard Childress Racing. But anyways, I have a feeling this car is going to be part-time again, with most likely Austin Hill driving the car part-time. Gregson drove this car last year before he moved to Cup full-time with Legacy Motor Club. So yeah, have a feeling Austin Hill is going to be driving that car again part-time. Now, lastly, the 78 car for Live Fast Motorsports. Now, currently owned by BJ McLeod. This is actually a custom of one of his cars in his Celsius paint scheme. Now, last year the team was a Ford manufacturer. This year they were Chevy. And I want to assume that they're going to remain with Chevy for next year in 2024. Either that or they go back to Ford again, because this team has had manufacturer changes back and forth from Ford to Chevy. So we'll just have to see where they land as far as manufacturer talks go. But as far as drivers go, BJ McLeod, so this car is kind of part-time. I don't know if you would consider it a part-time or full-time car. Well, it's somewhere in the middle. But Currently, BJ McLeod drives this car, as well as other drivers like Anthony Alfredo. Sheldon Creed's going to be making a start in this car this weekend at Kansas, along with Josh Bilicki as well. Have drove this car, so yeah, I have a feeling that's gonna be the same thing in 2024. Just have BJ McLeod and like other drivers drive the 78 for the Cup Series. So that will end my predictions video. So I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this. Really decided to try something new. And if you guys really did enjoy this, be sure to tell me, and probably next season in 2024, I'll probably make another one. And yeah, just see where that goes from there. So be sure to leave a like and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, as it will really help out the channel. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.